Are you drinking tea?
Of course, I'm drinking tea.
Cheers. Okay.
I don't know if you're supposed to cheers with tea, but that's what we're doing.
I feel like, yeah, we do it a lot.
Wait, who's on your mug?
It's Nick Cage. Are you watching any TV shows yourself at the moment?
So just finished watching Indian Matchmaking.
Oh yeah, was that good?
Netflix. It was very eye-opening for me. All like the, I guess, assumptions that I had about what Indian matchmaking might be. That it was something for, traditional, Indian families that, and thinking that the people who were getting married were forced into it. And like all of those things, well, some of them, can be true sometimes, but not at all what I thought it was going to be. Very entertaining.
I've been watching a lot of reality TV things as well. I think I just need a lighter during this weird COVID time. Yes. I think I just need something a bit lighter. But
I mean, I watch so much Love Island. Which is you guys just you make American reality television look like Mary Berry. I like to call that sexy idiots just having sex. That's all they seem to do. Just really gorgeous, sweet people. Has your work been affected by COVID at all? Have you had to, have shooting schedules change? Or? So I was taking this break, very conscious, I'm going to stop working for a while so that I can just, come back fresh to Handmaids. And then when I came back, I was ready to go. And then we had to stop.
Do you think that, you were saying before about how you don't you have to tell yourself to take time off, take a break from stuff. Yeah. Do you think that's because as an actor, because I kind of think I find someone who works for themselves, you feel guilty taking time off because, and you're so lucky to be there, or you need to get that job because you need to do that thing because you have to keep working, and you feel guilty when you do, Yeah,
100%, especially I think in the beginning of an actor's career, it can kind of feel, and I think a lot of times you never feel secure, you never feel unless you're like Meryl Streep, those people, you never feel, or at least for me, I didn't feel there was this fear that I was gonna fall out of the people's minds, that I wasn't going to be in the public consciousness, that people were thinking about me and remembering me, and therefore casting directors remembering me, when they're thinking about roles, just always wanting to make sure my face is out there. And yeah, it does. It feels guilty, but also just am I doing a good job promoting myself? Am I doing a good job, making sure that I'm just making sure that I'm working in some kind of way, especially because before I had a real career, I was bartending when I got my first job at Orange. And so I stayed a bartender that entire time. Because I'm just I must somehow be working in some kind of way. And then when that was gone, it had to be somehow acting all the time. So it really had to come. It's a conversation with yourself of what is more important, and I really had to choose myself and my family and my home life. And it was hard because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to my mom's a workaholic, that's just kind of in my blood. So that was a hard decision.
Yeah. But it's the right one because it is important to look after yourself 100%. Did you have anyone when you were starting out who did you have a mentor or someone who looked out for you, or someone you could look up to or ask advice from?
For me, honestly, it was, I think it was Natasha Lyonne. she's become one of my really good, I mean, she's one of my best friends.
Amazing.
And I don't think it was necessarily some kind of formal, like, you know, you're gonna be my mentor thing. It just happened to be, I gravitated toward her. And like, so we were hanging out a lot, and she would bring me, with her when she would go hang out with people, and I would just see her interact with fans on the street, or see how she conducted herself on a red carpet, or how she conducted herself in an interview. And I didn't take as gracefully to fame. I was like kind of overwhelmed by the fame of it all, because Orange was such a huge show. So that everyone was like, there was rabid fans, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. And I had a lot of questions. I'm like, do I take pictures of people? Do I not? And she kind of just showed me that, like, you get to make this whatever is comfortable for you, and you don't have to, but that kind of like, there's a line between like your public self and your private self.
Right.
And that you have a choice in what you're going to give to people. And so there's not like you have to be fake. You can still be yourself, but there can also be a line of like what you're not going to give away. It's honestly, she's like amazing at it. She's so amazing at it. But it really taught me that, like, I can be authentic with people that I'm interacting with, but I don't have to give them things that come at a cost to me.
Yeah.
It did come to the point where, like, I'm, on the street and like giving people like hugs, and people were like picking me, and I'm small, right? So and Poussey was a character that people felt really close to.
Yeah.
So people felt the right even to come and invade my personal space and kiss all on me and hug all on me and like just pull me and all of these things. And it felt dangerous, So I had to find a way to feel like I was giving them something that still was meaningful, but I wasn't gonna like let them violate my
yeah. I think that's an okay line to draw.
Yeah.
Are you still saying, because you're saying that you're like comfortable on stage, are you still nervous when you start like a new job?
Yes, very, very much so. I mean, because like, I think that, when I'm going back, like say, when we go back for season 4 to start filming Handmaids again, less so there, because like I've created this character already. Yes. So I think, I'm sure, like being an actor, like creating a character is such an intimate process. And like, it's so different when it comes to each actor, and it can be delicate because it's so vulnerable to put yourself out there like that. For me. And I'm sure lots of people can agree with that and relate to that. And before you, like with Poussey and Moira, I'm like, well, everyone already knows who they are. So like, I'll just bring some of that back, but like with a new project, it's scary. It's scary. And a lot of times you're working with, on a new project, actors who you haven't worked with before. Being on a television show for a number of years, you kind of take it for granted because these people have become your family. I'm going to set, and I'm not really, sometimes, but for the most part, I'm working with people who I've gotten to know for the last 4 years. I know their families. I've eaten at their houses, So all of that other stuff, like everything is new for a new character. So that's it always is a little nerve-wracking.
Do you watch a lot of British TV? Do you have a favorite British TV show?
Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. The same thing that we said in the beginning of the conversation about reality TV show. I'm obsessed with Love Island, but even more than that, I am obsessed with Mary Berry. So much so. Listen, okay, I am a very strong believer in therapy. And I was in therapy one time, and my therapist told me that she, that sometimes when she's talking to one of her patients, that she'll have them like, imagine someone in the room that like you would want, like your mother or your grandmother or someone who you would want to be your best for. And if you're trying to do that, you know, then imagine them in the room, and then you can be your best. And I always imagine Mary Berry, always imagine her in my room.
That's amazing.
I'm always like, I want to be my best for her. I swear to God.
I wonder if she knows that somewhere Samira Wiley is like, I just want to do my best for you, Mary Berry.
Look, I cannot
that.
bake. I look, I cannot. But in my dreams, I hear Mary just like, good bake, you know.
That's amazing. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Always going to associate the two of you together now, which is really great in my head. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time as well. Honestly, it means the world. And congratulations again. Thoroughly deserved.
Thank you very much. It's lovely. No. It's lovely to be able to just sit down and talk to you. I don't talk to anyone in my day, really.
Samira, I'm free anytime. We can wear similar tops again. It'll be great.